Hi Leo, this is your horoscope for November 2017. Thanks for joining me. Now, Mars is in Libra in your third house all month. So Mars is right here in the sign of Libra. Mars rules Aries, which is on the other side of the chart. So Mars is the archetypal male principle. In Aries, it's very much about overcoming obstacles and pushing through. In Libra, Mars is kind of in it's debilitated in a sense because it has to be compromising and it has to be considerate and it thinks about other people and what they want rather than just following its own needs. The fact that that is in the third house of communication bodes really well for you here in November because it means that the way you communicate is powerful but actually accessible to other people. It's not overbearing, it's not overly aggressive, and people will want to hear what you have to say. Now, Saturn is in your fifth house, and that trines Uranus in the ninth house all month, okay? So they're 120 degrees apart. They form this harmonious relationship with each other. Saturn is the planet of structure, scrutiny, and restriction. And that is in Sagittarius is somewhat confused anyway. The fifth house is the house of romance and relationship. So there may be some uncertainty about what to do with a relationship. Do I progress? Do I take it to the next level? Or is this the right relationship for me at all? I don't know. The connection with Aries Uranus is really positive because Uranus in Aries is the planet of rebellion and eccentricity. And in Aries, it's really, really powerful. It's kind of like Mars would be if it was in Aries, but just a little bit more because it's an outer planet and it's really chaotic. So with that relationship, you may feel some uncertainty when it comes to your romantic life, but with the Uranus trine, you'll have a desire to figure it out, to explore, to ask questions, to discover, and to keep looking until you have that certainty if you have to make a decision. There's also the potential, if you're in a relationship that isn't working out, with the chaos of Uranus and Aries there's the potential to look elsewhere. If something is really difficult and just say, do you know what, this is getting a bit much, I'm gonna look elsewhere. And that's very easy to do. That's much easier than trying to work things out and really getting clear on what a relationship is rather than just throwing it out the window. Now on the 4th of November, the full moon occurs, and the full moon happens in Taurus in your 10th house. Okay, so I'll make a separate video on the full moon and the new moon because they can be quite complicated and I'll go in depth about those. But as far as you're concerned, the full moon is reaching its completion point. It's coming to fruition and it's showering you with Taurus energy. And Taurus is about money, belongings, and physical success, and it's in your 10th house of career. So expect some positive news in terms of your career or your money situation or your belongings around the time of the full moon, which is on the 4th of November. On the 5th of November through until the 19th, we've got Venus, the planet of love and beauty, also going into your third house. And the third house is the house of communication. And when Venus, the planet of love, and Mars, the male planet, come together, it usually represents a new beginning. So communication is really your biggest asset here in November. But Venus is also conjunct to Jupiter, even though they're in different houses, they're less than 10 degrees away from each other. So love and good luck are combined in the areas of communication and family. So you can really make a lot of progress in your family life, communicating with people, even communicating with people who you usually struggle with. On the 6th of November, Mercury moves into Sagittarius in your 5th house. Mercury is the communication planet, and that sitting in your 5th house is going to help you get clarity on all of this relationship stuff that you've been considering. Mercury is the communication planet. In Sagittarius, it can send information out and receive information back, so it's quite happy there. You'll start to make sense of things. The point is to communicate with other people because this is the area of your life, the romantic side, that's going to be most tricky. So the help is available and good luck and love is available to you via other people. So make sure that you don't try to figure all of this out by yourself, but ask for help, ask questions. That's going to support you. On the 7th of November, Venus moves into Scorpio, so it leaves the third house I can get it to leave. And it joins your 4th house in Scorpio. So Venus in Scorpio is really intense. It wants genuine, long-term, intense relationships. Good luck, your identity, they're all in the 4th house of family. So family-wise, things are going to be intense for you, Leo. If you're in the States and you've got Thanksgiving going on, emotionally things will come to the surface. If you're wanting to resolve issues, then this is the best time for it. But if you're someone who likes to sweep things under the rug and who doesn't want to deal with them, then that's a problem, because with all of this energy in your 4th, it is going to come to the surface. On the 10th of November through until the 27th of November, Mars is still in your 3rd house there, and it begins to square Pluto in the 6th house. So it's 90 degrees away from Pluto. Pluto is the planet of transformation and change, and Mars, as I said, is this male principle, this desire to do and to get things done. So in this case, in this month, the information that you get from other people by communicating with them is going to be really, really helpful in transforming your day-to-day routine, your physical life. So the divine messages, the guidance, often comes from other people this month, so make sure you pay attention to what other people are saying to you as well. On the 18th of November, we have the new moon in Scorpio. So the moon has moved from up here now, and it's joined all of this in your 4th house. So the new moon is when the sun and the moon sit together and the moon recharges itself. Again, I'll make a separate video on that. But that's pulling Scorpio energy into your 4th sector of family and home. So Scorpio is about getting to the truth. So family issues really are going to kind of raise their heads, but it's also an opportunity to resolve them once and for all. It just depends on what you want to do with this energy. Also on the 18th of November, going through all the way until the 12th of December, Mercury is in Sagittarius, here in the 5th, and it gets closer and closer to Saturn in Sagittarius. So these two form a conjunction for about a month, and that conjunction is going to help you figure things out when it comes to your relationships. Who's useful or helpful in terms of helping you grow spiritually, and who just criticizes you and puts you down for the sake of it, and who is in your life for no real reason. You know, sometimes you've got to be a little bit tough about these things and say, do you know what, you just put me down and every weekend you come over and just make me cry. I don't want to do that anymore, you know, for instance. So Mercury is really going to help you understand that, and that if you look at the energy, it's all kind of hovering around the 3rd, 4th, and 5th house of your chart, isn't it? So it's about communicating with other people, bringing things to the surface and sorting out what it is you want in your relationships and what other people want, and how you can work together to get the most out of it together. So that's what I get for you coming up in November, Leo. If you'd like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the Readings tab to audio reading. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll speak to you next month.